Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. We to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect. The elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, you Achawathim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson. Yeah, hey, man, it's beautiful, man. This is today, right? October 1st, 2025, first day covering coverage of the government shutdown, right? You know, matter of fact, they already like predated this for October 7th, but it's not the October 7th yet. Today's still Wednesday the 1st, October the 1st, right? They predated it and everything because this is you know, showing you how close in proximity. Look, you're only dealing with minutes of the time that this has shut down, right? 14 minutes and 59 seconds, right? So this shutdown just happened, man. And seeing this is all to the glory of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash, man. The Lord is working his work upon this place, man. Right? And that's to free the elect, man. Ultimately, man, to give Yahweh Shai his kingdom, to give him his glory, man, that he deserves, man. Right? And right along with the elect, man. Right? We know that you're, you know, the hopeful elect, but you will be the elect. Those who are the elect, man, that chosen before the foundation of the world, man. Right? But the Lord is doing this to fulfill his promise that he gave to Abraham, that all Israel will receive the kingdom of heaven, man. Right? You know, first things first, of course, the elect, starting with Yahweh Shai, King David, the 144,000, and that innumerable multitude that cannot be numbered nor measured, right? Because what? You're not supposed to, you're not supposed to number Israel, right? And I mean, it's beautiful, man. So it's saying, okay, what we covered here, shut down first day, the federal government shut down at midnight after a deadlock Congress failed to reach a deal on funding. Republicans and Democrats are at odds, right? Which is basically, this is all set up, man. You know, because, you know, the almost pretty much the same thing that they did during the CV-19, right? You had the vaccinated people against the non-vaccinated, and that turned into something real, man. People were really in a uproar about, you know, people, whether you wore your slave, cover your mouth as a slave, or you didn't. They were in an uproar about that. Whether you did the hokey pokey, like Apostle Gabar said, you know, I like that, because that's what it was, man. You know, you took your jump shot, then it told you to turn around and take another jump shot, then take a booster, then turn around and take another booster, man. You doing the hokey pokey, man. At the end of the day, man. And this is pretty much the same rhetoric that they're gonna push, in a sense of people putting people at odds, and then these elites are gonna be in the bunker drinking wine together, man. They're gonna be drinking, you know, Chateau d'Ivoire, whatever, you know. They're gonna be drinking some expensive French wine in their billion-dollar bunkers, why all hell is breaking loose in you know in your basically in your neighborhood, in your local place, wherever you are on the planet Earth, right? Meanwhile, forcing you to do digital IDs, digital banking information must be turned in. I remember I did a lesson on Ethiopia. That was this year. They said gave the Ethiopians a year this year. So 2026, they're supposed to have all their biometrics and their information in at their bank. Pretty much the same thing that happened last year of 2024 to Vietnam, right? These are things that's going on. While meanwhile, you people are going to be at each other's throat over you're a Democrat and over you're a Republican, while they're about to get ready to control the whole entire world and drinking wine and laughing, right? Because they're good. They're millions and trillionaires already, while you're at the bottom scraping, you know, to survive, to buy eggs, right? A simple thing like eggs. Who would have ever thunk it, right? Yeah, so this is what Isaiah chapter 47 verse 1 has come down and sit in the dust, man, because that's what's happening to America, Babylon the Great. Because technically they're not telling you they can't afford to keep Congress open. So, you know, it makes sense to pretend like there's an argument, that they're at odds with each other, and then so are you people, man. You could tell how you people are truly at odds with each other, you know, even to the point that you're believing these psyops, man, and now you know death is nothing to play with, man. When someone dies, man, that raises the stakes, man. When you have whether an Illuminati sacrifice or not, these events is raising the stakes, man, raising the tensions between these plebeians and patricians, these Democrats and these Republicans in this modern Greco-Roman Empire, right? And it says, "O virgin daughter of Babylon," right? Because you've never been, you know, actually strucken with any actual true enemy, any violence, right? From a foreign entity, right? Everything has been self-inflicted, right? Right? In order for you to go to war and make money, right? Warmongers, right? You know, Pearl Harbor allegedly, 9/11 allegedly, right? These things that, you know, these insiders, Henry Kissinger, and all these do that set up these things, right? You know, these inside things to keep conflicts and things going, right? But you're gonna sit in the dust, right? Because you haven't been hit over here with anything but hyper intercontinental ballistic missiles is coming, right? And you're gonna sit on the ground, right? Sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, right? Which is not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking this place, spiritual Babylon, which is America, right? Sit on the ground. There is no throne, right? You're gonna be taken out of your power seat, man. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. Your witchcraft ain't gonna work anymore. None of that, man. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstone and grind the mill, right? And that goes into what? Lack of food, but also what? Lack of jobs, right? Right? Uncover thy locks and make bare the thigh, right? When you go into the scriptures, you go to, was it 1 Corinthians 11, it tells you that it's a shame for a woman to have her head uncovered, right? and if it were for her to be shorn or shaven, right, to be a bald head, right, just shave it all off, right, you know, you know, you know, alopecia, right, you know, and you know, and a woman ain't gorgeous like that, you know, but that's this place, man. You're gonna see this place is you know, it's decaying, it's breaking down, right? Uncover the locks, right? And that's not a good thing for a woman to just be showing her, you know, the top of her head, her hair, and make bare the leg and uncover the thigh, right? That's, you know, that's supposed to be for you know, for a woman, for her husband, but they're gonna show that this is a nasty harlot, you know what I mean? That's been shooting up all sorts of drugs and heroin and you know, all the beauty is all witchcraft. It's all Hollywood, right? It's all just makeup, right? Yeah, this place only looked at glorious, but hey, the truth is coming out about this place, man. The way you did the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, right? The way you've been a warmonger, the way you've been into child trafficking and human trafficking, all those things coming up, and people are aware of you, man. They see you. Pass over the rivers, right? So when you go to other places over the country, you know, in other countries, they could see. They have this disdain about you. They're looking at you in a different fashion. They're not looking at you like, oh, great, beautiful America anymore, right? Yeah, so this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house, right, dealing with the elites, the international bankers, right, going into your Congress, you know, they're so-called in a dead lock, right, on voting on funds, because it's funds you don't really have, right? So at any point in time that the stock market has to crash, but they have to make it make sense, and it needs to come at a time that's going to be suitable for them, and not to basically catch them unawares, you know what I mean? Which looks like why Trump is putting these militaries in these different cities, right? Because it has to be coming shortly, right? Soon, right? And this just kind of prolongs the proverbial kicking the can down the street until, you know, the inevitable happens, right? Right, which eventually they have to bring in the digital dollar. The current currency will have to collapse, which is going to make a lot of countries collapse around the world, and then it's going to be uproars of the people all over the world, which is going to bring in the hour of temptation that the whole world will have to be tested. And it says, you know, and so they're trembling, right? Because they're seeing the chariots, the UFOs. They see the men of the Lord. Prophecy is happening exactly the way that the scriptures say, exactly the way the men of the Lord is breaking it down, because they what it says, take it to someone who has learned, and they say they cannot because it is sealed. And take it to someone who's unlearned, they'll say, no, I can't, because it is unlearned. But the prophets are on the scene, and they're breaking it down exactly the way it's meant to be broken down. So now what? They shall what? Tremble, man, because the men, the elect, is sealed, or if not sealed, it's very close to having the elect sealed, which we know that there's going to be some people that come in at the 11th hour. So, I mean, you know, and the strong men, right, the military, shall bow themselves, and the grinders, right, the people who go to work, right, cease, the grinders cease, right? The work, the hustle and bustle of America is gonna cease, right? That grinding of the millstone. They are few, right? Because really, they're saying only what they said 75%, something like that. They were saying something about 75% of Americans are not at work. So there's only about 20% of Americans that's actually working, that's actually footing the bill. So this, no wonder why they had to shut down. You know, they had to have this so-called deadline. They can't afford it. Only 20% of the country is actually working. So they are few, right? Jobs are few in number. And these these that look out the window, out of the windows, be darkened, right? Yeah, they're basically, you're looking for a future. You're looking for, a nest egg, some type of way of comfort, and maybe you could bounce back. There ain't no bouncing back for America, right? They would have healed Babylon, but they couldn't, right? Right? Well, I might have to get that next, right? It says, and the doors shall be shut, right? See, the doors are shut. They're even speaking of more layoffs, right? Which is what inevitable, right? For these layoffs, the streets, right? Which is talking about America. When the sound of the grinding is low, right? The jobs are low. The hustle and bustle of America is low. It's normally, it was the other one talks about how it'd be jumping chariots and all these different things, and that's the hustle and bustle, right? Right. It says he shall rise up at the voice of the birds. When the birds or the goddamn the rooster crow. Time to wake up, man. Time to go to work. That used to be the original alarm clock, right? The birds, or the tweeting birds singing them beautiful songs in the morning. Right? Get up. Oh shit, go to work. Hey, no work. And all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So ain't gonna be any work, right? Yeah. I'm gonna go here first. This is Nahum chapter 3, verse 1 says, woe, which means judgment. And ultimately, this is all judgment to this place, man. To the bloody city, it is all filled of lies and robbery, right? You stole this land from the Native Americans. You spilled their blood, right? Also of the so-called Negroes, also of the so-called Latinos, the so-called Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, right? And then just all of us all together in conjunction, because all 12 tribes are here, right? You had all those people from Brazil that came up this way. You had all these different people from Colombia and Cuba and Jamaica, and basically all the tribes are here in America, right? And your whole thing is to just continually rob us with lies, put us in the ghettos, the vadios, the reservations. Your lies is to make people believe that there's this democracy and there's this American dream. And what happens is you have the poor to fight your wars, the rich men's wars. So these are lies that Jake ended up believing, right, wholeheartedly, and pretty much all your wars, whether if it's the Boston Tea Party, all the way to your average everyday war right now, a so-called Negro or a Native American, right, and even at this point, Latinos are put as these front linemen, basically to be your shield, right? And that's ultimately who shields Esau, man. Even to this very day, we go out there and teach. You know who comes against us? It's our own people. You can't say that. You can't say that about the so-called white man. And that's really your defense because of these lies, right? Even though you have robbed us. The prey departeth not. See, and that's what they do. They end up having this Stockholm syndrome, and they don't leave, right? So a lot of these jakes are gonna get the charagma, man. So the noise of the whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, right? See, because that's dealing with the hustle and bustle of America, right? And of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots, right? Talking about the hustle and bustle of America. You got airplanes that, you know, they drive off to the runway and jump up. Looks like it's jumping, then it's flying in the air, right? All the way to your regular, Jake loved these hydraulic six-folds, and they're up there using their six-folds to make their chariot jump, so to speak, you know? Right? All the way to these, these F-16s, F-35s, all these different military planes and drones and, you know, cars and things, the hustle and bustle, the trains that can go back and forth. You can go to and fro. What knowledge have increased. We're in that time, right? The hustle and bustle of America is ceasing, man. So the horsemen lifted up both the bright sword, right? Your military, and the glittering spear, right? Yeah, with your military, you got your nuclear missiles, you got your laser beams, your laser warfare equipment, and it says, and there is a multitude of the slain, right? And a great number of carcasses. That's what's going to happen in World War III. And there is no end of their corpses. They stumble upon the corpses, right? Because that's ultimately what's going to happen. The Lord is going to require the past. The Lord is going to require the blood of the saints, right? You cannot be, the land cannot be cleansed but by the blood of him that shed it. So this basically what's his name? They call him Red at the time, but he came back as what Malcolm X said. The chickens came home to roost, and that's what's ultimately happening, man. You're tripping over the corpses of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and the Lord is requiring the things of the past, man. Is requiring that blood. Yeah, so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 10. Behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention. My people, which are the Israelites, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, whether you believe it or not, it is what it is, what the Most High say it is, right? Is led as a flock to the slaughter, right? And that's what's about to happen, right? There's these race wars, the tensions that's happening in America. You know, you're gonna have these wars in these other countries, continents, which is gonna lead to the Third World War and to the Valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, which you're gonna have this draft. And a lot of people are gonna get drafted, and especially a lot of these jakes, right? That believe in this place with the Stockholm syndrome. I got a Jake that lived next door to me, little Issacharite. I was trying to break some things down, but you know, he wasn't really trying to listen. His whole thing is he's going to join the military. I said, you're going to be fighting the Lord, right? You're going to be in the military. You're going to fight against the Lord. And, you know, they ain't listening. You know, they're into to Esau, man. They're ready to defend this guy. And I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And that's another code name for America, which is spiritual Egypt. And that's here. The Lord ain't going to allow us to keep dwelling here forever, man. This place has to come to an end. But I will bring them with a mighty hand, which is the elect, with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm out, with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt, right, which is America, which was going to prove it, with plagues as what? As before. The Lord, when the Lord did the plagues, he only did it one time on physical Egypt. But what place is he's gonna smite Egypt again with plagues as before? And that's America, Babylon the Great. It says, and will destroy all the land thereof. And that's with the ICBM missiles and the laser beams from the chariots. Let's not forget about that, because the Lord wants to get busy too. And the angels do too. The angels can't wait. They want to please the Lord, the one who have made them, man. They want to please him. It says, Egypt shall mourn, right? And that's what they're doing now. The money, everything is too expensive. It's so expensive to go grocery shopping. It's this and it's that and that. But with all this complaining about the Epstein list, and then all of a sudden you're recanting the Epstein list and how hard it is to buy a house or even an apartment at this point. But you will find time to hate a nigga, man. You're gonna find time to hate the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, man. And that's what you do, right? It says, right. Mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten, right? America's going to be, it's going to be a desert, man. They're never going to come back. And shall be smitten with plagues and punishment that the power, the Most High Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, shall bring upon it. Yes, so this is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7 says, Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad, right? Because it said, what? Uncover the locks and uncover the leg and make bare the thigh. Because everybody's realizing, hey, man, you the one who made them drink of the wine, right? You send your economic hitmen. You push forth these so-called social climates and different things, and the World Health Organizations and the things, and they know that this really all that stuff stems from America, Babylon the Great, right? You're the one who's been basically just plundering the world and everyone. Right? Japan is going to remember what you've done to them when you drop bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Right? The Ishmaelites, they ain't forgot you. You dropped bombs on Baghdad. You went 20 years war with the Taliban, so-called. Right? You made up ISIS, right? So you could do these different so you could have this boogeyman, so you could do these executions of governors and presidents and prime ministers, and set up your own puppet leaders within these countries. Everybody, these nations are mad, man. They realize that, right? Not to mention you said that these things were going to work. This witchcraft was going to work on these Israelites, and that they would never wake up. So they're mad. They're not going to have their part in heaven anymore, right? Ruling with you, so to speak, right? Now they have to go into slavery. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen, right? And that's what's happening. That's you. You're spiritually also known as Babylon, and it's suddenly going to fall, and it's falling now. It seemed like a sudden fall, but it's falling already. And destroyed, howl for her, take balm for her pain, right? Which that's what they're doing, because it's falling. Let's do the government shutdown. Let's see if we can hold it off, kick the proverbial can down the road. If it be, she may be healed. Let's do this. Let's do these different things. Hey, she may be healed. Let's put Trump in off. Let's do this thing. Oh, you know what? We can't do that. We're just gonna tariff. And then we're going to make the people have to pay for it which is gonna put this thing in a hyperinflation, which will bring in the charagma, right? And we'll blame it on Russia. We'll blame it on whatever they want to blame it on, right? We would have healed Babylon, right? Right? Oh, it's definitely want to blame it on the so-called Negroes, right? How how there would be white on white crime, but you go to an all black college trying to hang Jakes, man. It's crazy. They have nothing to do with us, right? Which the so-called black on black crime does have everything to do with you, with your Jim Crow, right? You set that up so that the dark skin will be against the light skin, the elder will be against the younger, the woman will be against the man. You set that up, man. That's systematic, man. And then turn around and this guy is making, well, why do we have so much violence in the black community? I wonder what's wrong with you guys. Yeah, right. Like CK actually give a goddamn for us, right? Then you got a bunch of kiss ass so-called Negroes that love the that love the so-called white man with their Stockholm syndrome, these dudes, man. Says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and that's what's about to happen. Yahweh Bashim Shai is about to take the elect up out of this place, and there's no more need for this place anymore, right? Forsake her and let us go, everyone into his own country. Yeah, and then even other people from other countries, they're gonna go home. The Chinese, the Japanese, the Arabians, all of them, they're gonna go home, man. Right? For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even into the sky. And it's time for Yahweh to judge this place, man. Right? One more verse real quick. And it says Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, had brought forth our righteousness, right? Which is Yahweh Shai, right? And let us declare in Zion, right, the work of Yahweh, our power, right? Allowing Yahweh Shai to die for us to make. Well, it was the Day of Atonement that Yahweh Shai made that atonement so that we could be forgiven, right? And ultimately be retaught and stand back upon our feet, right? And through Yahweh Shai being our intercessor, we have a way back to the Father. And this is a great work that he's bringing down America, Babylon the Great. So we're going to speak of the way the Lord destroyed and smote Egypt with plagues as he did before. So call volume Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to your sisters, your Akhwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Baba Ball, and Kwam Yasharallah.